Guys, welcome. I'm here with Anna with AD Lending, and actually, we wanted to make this a little bit of a longer podcast, not on a live, because there was tons of questions that have been coming in for financing. Those tend to be, some of the most important aspects of financing an ADU, and so I wanted to bring Anna here. She's an expert, has been doing this a very long time, specifically been helping us with a lot of the ADU financing. So I wanted to, Anna, if it's okay with you, kind of go through some of the questions that our audience has. If you guys don't already know me, my name is Esteban, CEO of Next Generation Builders. We're a boutique builder here in Los Angeles, specializing in ADUs and now SB9 as well. Okay, so Anna, if you want, before I jump into the questions, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, introduce yourself so the audience knows who you are, and kind of a little bit more about you.
Of course. My name is Anna, and I'm the broker here at A&D Lending. We specialize in lots of different loan programs, and we work closely with NextGen to finance projects for our borrowers who want to do various different things.
Cool.
So, yeah.
Awesome. Okay. And how long have you been in the mortgage industry? How long have you been in the lending industry, Anna?
Close to 10 years.
Close to 10 years, a decade. Isn't it wild, right? Time flies. Okay.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay. All right. So, Anna, there's tons of different projects that you work on. I mean, different types of financing. Obviously, you work with first-time home buyers, listings for the buyers. Maybe you're working with investors as well. So you guys are very active. And so tell me a little bit of where do you see, right, before I jump into the questions, I'm curious, right, because this is important. What are the big problems that customers are coming across when wanting to finance their ADUs? Or like, what are the obstacles? What are the red tape, the caution tape? What do you think is a big, difficulties for them to obtain this money? Because everybody wants to build an ADU in cash flow, right? Who doesn't?
Yeah.
But do they qualify, say, is a different question. What do you think about that?
Yeah. Well, we run into a couple different obstacles, but the main one I would say is the qualifying aspect of it. I mean, with the interest rates being high today, so it's definitely really tough to qualify, when you're going full doc with pay stubs and everything. So especially because you already have an existing mortgage and you're requesting another one. So that is one of the major difficulties that we face.
Got it. Okay, perfect. Okay, so thank you for that. And I'm going to jump into some of the questions. So this is coming from a realtor out of San Bernardino, and they're asking, how do you communicate the long-term benefits of real estate investments to skeptical clients? Because I know you're a broker, so you're working with real estate and lending. How are you navigating that right now when customers are just kind of being pessimistic and scared of the market?
We hear that all the time. We hear clients wanting to put off their purchases and stuff, waiting till when the rates will come down. But what I always tell them is if you're going to put it off now, and you're hoping for it to come down before you make your next move, a lot of people just like you are thinking the same exact thing. So I think once it starts to take a dip, there's going to be much more competition in the market. So I think at that point, it would be much tougher actually to, get something at, the competition is going to be way more. So it's going to be more difficult. So that's where I feel, that's what I tell my clients, at least. I tell them if you can afford it now, you can stick through, you can always refinance down later. That's not, you're always free to do that. So it's better to secure at a lower price, refinance it later if you can hold on to it.
Perfect. And so with your clients, I mean, you deal with a lot of different, scenarios again. So, but the current market can affect people differently. So did you have to pivot in any way in this market to kind of adjust to the changes in the real estate market, the financing market?
I mean, yeah, of course, it comes with its challenges. It's not the same affordability, right? So, due to inflation and stuff, a lot of things have gone up in price. So we see potential home buyers having a difficulty of, dealing with this large payment that they're going to have, along with the rest of their other regular monthly expenses, right? So that's kind of where, and I think at first they thought that the rates weren't here to stay, that it was temporary. But I feel like people are coming to terms with it, that this is where it's at least going to be at for the near future. So I think they're starting to accept it more, and I think we're seeing more of a increase in volume due to that.
I know you touched on it a little bit on it, like some of the benefits right now in the market, how you explain it to people, right? Later it's going to be, probably more competition if the market does, rates go down, right? Naturally, more people enter the market, right? Right now there's less people in the market naturally, so there's always an opportunity in, when people see that, or when people see there's a lot of fear in the market, right? So,
Right.
but besides that, are there any other ways that you help your clients navigate and find opportunities in this market? For the audience here, a lot of realtors follow us, first-time home buyers, investors, homeowners. So what do you tell to some of these people that are kind of hesitant but want to get into the market? What other opportunities do you think they can find when working with a professional like yourself or someone with a lot of experience?
Well, I mean, the benefit of working with us is that we have a wide variety of programs. Anything starting from minimum of like 3.5% down, no income document programs, ITIN programs. So even if you don't have a social security number, even foreign nationals, those who don't even reside here. So I mean, that's one of the benefits of working with us is, we definitely fight for our borrowers. And if we, I would say if we can't make it happen, I don't know if we can.
There you go. Yeah, Anna, that makes sense. That should be the slogan, right? If we can't make it
Yeah.
happen, I don't know anybody that can, right? So
Yeah.
you might have to wait on the sidelines because no one is going to qualify you at this point. No, I get you. No, that makes sense, Anna. That makes sense. Okay, so that's perfect. So you have a variety of programs. So if someone hasn't been qualified, would you say they should still kind of have a second inspection, a second review, a second opinion, right? To go through
Absolutely.
the process.
Absolutely. Yes, for sure.
Okay.
Because, I mean, we're brokers, so we're always looking for different programs, new things that come up, and it's always changing. We see lenders come up with new products all the time, and that's what I mean. Like, we fight for our borrowers. So if there's something that we can do to fit our borrower into any program, whether it's getting a HELOC, home equity line, or for a purchase, or for like literally anything that you're looking for, we'll make, if it's possible, we'll make it happen. Definitely.
Wonderful. I like it. And there's other ADU, there's subs, there's general contractors that we're in network with here at the Instagram page. A lot of our social media. So we collaborate, we work with other builders. So I think it's great for them to hear this in case they are looking for other financing options, other professionals, because I know some people stick to just one or two programs. And so that is really going to limit you when we have all types of different customers and not one size fits all approach. Okay. All right. So another question that came from Long Beach, and this is actually another realtor. What are the best loan programs for self-employed investors that want to build an ADU?
Well, we have a couple options, but our most popular ones are either doing refinance as a cash out or getting a second mortgage, such as a HELOC or a fixed second. Currently, what we do see is not a lot of refi cash out transactions because most people, the first mortgage that they have is a very low interest rate compared to what we have today. So we want to avoid touching that and refinancing that. So typically we're working on second mortgages, whether it's a line of credit or a fixed second loan.
Perfect. That's great. Okay. Right. Awesome. And then, okay, here's another one, and maybe it's the same answer. I'm not sure, but this is coming from Susie. She's a homeowner in Ontario. Okay, so what are the best loan programs for a regular salary W-2 full doc employee?
Well, I
If
mean,
if they want to build an ADU on their property, they're already an existing homeowner.
the criteria, the requirements are pretty much the same as it would be for stated or even self-employed borrowers. At that point, when we're doing like a second mortgage, we're looking more at equity and value. So, that's what our focus on. Income is something that's easy for us. That's either we're going stated route or we're going full doc, whatever your income source may be.
Got it. Okay. And so is there a minimum like credit score besides, so you mentioned very value driven, right? So you have to have some value in the property.
Yeah.
And so there's probably, more than one tool that they can use to kind of check just initially the value, right?
Yeah.
Where do they usually want to be if you were to make it simple, right? For practical purposes, if you purchased your house, if your house is worth $700,000 and you owe 400,000. I mean, would that give you enough value to build one of these things?
Well, typically we're looking at about 80% of the value. So we'll take the value, say it's 700, like you said. We'll take
Okay.
80% of that, and then we'll deduct what the first mortgage is, and whatever is left over, that's what we're able to cash out.
Got
In
it.
certain
Okay.
instances, we can go up to 90%, but that's more of like a stronger borrower with a much higher credit score. So it's like case by case basis, but I would say on average, we're looking at about 80% value.
Okay. Okay, awesome. Okay, awesome. And is there like a minimum credit score that they should have?
Yeah, ideally it's a minimum of 680.
680 for homeowners.
Yeah.
Okay, 680. All right, awesome. And then not basically after the new loan of the ADU, you should not go over 80% to loan to value, right?
Correct.
Of your of
Yeah,
your
a
of the home.
combined loan
Combined.
of which should be 80% of the value.
That makes sense. That makes perfect sense. Okay, that's great. Okay. All right, so that's all the questions that we had. I'm going to jump in a little bit more into like case studies. So people want to know case studies specifically. This is something that people always ask us for, and I think this is going to be great for us to share with the audience, being, that, people don't know what to expect, and I think that's what makes them, not pull the trigger and reach out, get the consultation, or they just hear that rates are really high, so they assume things don't make sense. So,
Yeah.
okay, right? And so what do you think you can expect from a one bedroom structure that's about 150,000 loan amount, ADU, right? What type of payment can you expect from that?
So for about 150,000, we're looking at a payment of a little under 1,200.
A little bit under 1,200. Great. And
Yeah.
so I mean, you know the market, I know the market. Do you think one bedroom apartments are renting for more in LA, most parts of
Oh,
LA?
absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, definitely. And I
Awesome.
think location plays a big factor too. And by location, I mean like whether it's close to hospitals or schools or certain, I think those drive up the value more. But definitely 1,200 for one bedroom here, that's not, yeah, it's way more.
Yeah.
You can
Times,
definitely rent for much more. I don't
yeah,
think
times
we
are
have a problem
changing.
with that. Yeah.
I hear you. I hear you.
Absolutely.
Okay. How about, so that's perfect. So for people, and even if someone wants to live in it, right? And you're building
Yeah.
it for your daughter, if you're building it for your parents, where are they going to find something brand new for $1,200, right?
Nope. Mm-mm.
Not gonna happen.
Never.
One bedroom. Okay, got it. Now, what about a two bedroom, a two bedroom structure? Approximately about 220,000 for that. What do you think it's the payment is going to be approximately, right, for that?
So for about 220, we're looking at about 1,750 a month.
1750 a month,
1,750.
two bedroom, and again, I think you're easily going to be able to rent out more than a $1,700 payment for a two bedroom in somewhere in LA City. It's all about location, like you said, but for the most part, something brand new, you're always going to be on the higher end of the market.
Definitely.
Okay, great guys. So there you go, two bedroom, 220,000. That's a 1770 payment. I know people that have car payments that are more than that, right? Or they're paying double that rent for an apartment, right? So that makes sense. Okay, if you can house your family member or rent this out, this is a great place to start your investment. Portfolio is in your backyard. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, so the third one for the case study is a three bedroom, about a $250,000 loan. What are we looking at?
We're about 1980 for a $250,000 loan.
1980 for $250,000. That's amazing, and that's today's rate. So all of these that you mentioned
Today.
are for today's rates, right?
Correct.
So,
Current rate.
and you mentioned something important. If rates were to drop, you're going to have a lot more spread, right, for your rental value if you are renting it out, and if you're living in it, well, your payment will just be even lower.
There's no way you'll be able to rent for anything close. Like if you were to want to go rent an apartment or a house, you're not going to get anything close to these numbers.
So one more
You're gonna
time
be
for the three bedroom, 250,000. You said
1,980.
1,980. Wow, that's amazing. That's awesome, guys. Here you go. So those are case studies. Those are real numbers for you guys. Today's rates. We are October 24th, 2023. So just in case, right, people want to know, no, that's from a year ago. Nope, that's right now. So hopefully the team releases this by 2024. We should be. Okay. So it should be fine. No, we're going to release it much sooner than that so that people can get this information right away. All right. So now let's talk timelines, Anna. Guide me through the timelines because, some people are like, it's going to take 6 months for me to get the approval. My uncle Jose, it took him 7 months and he never got the money, right? So let's talk timelines on when financing can be done. What can they expect about disbursements of funds? Because some people assume that we get the money directly to us. Right? And so how does that work? First of all, timelines. What are your loan approvals approximately taking?
So typically, whenever we have a consult with the borrower, we reach out, we request the needs list, right? So it's required documents that we need to underwrite your file. Assuming the borrower gets us everything that we need, it takes us about 48 hours to approve it. And then that's when we submit the file. And it takes about 30 days to close on average, possibly sooner, but we like to give a 30-day timeline to meet everything.
Perfect. So 30 days, 45 days, you can get that funding. And
yeah, definitely not 6 months. So
definitely not 6 months. That makes sense. Okay. So there you go. And the important thing is that, we say this in the same in our industry, right, with ADUs. It's like, hey, how quickly can we get the plans approved? It really depends also on more than one factor, right? How quickly you approve a design. If you go on vacation and we can't go and measure on your property, then we cannot, obviously move forward. So as long as you move fairly quickly, then we can kind of match that speed and move at that same.
We're a team,
pace.
so we need to work together. If we need something, we need the borrower to help us out getting all the documents that we need in order to move things along and, not hold up any time because the quicker the better. We don't want anyone holding out, for the money for their project. So we like to get things done fairly quickly.
Perfect. Okay. And those funds, are they being dispersed over to like me, Esteban, Next Generation Builders, or is it going into, the customer's hand? How does that work? A little bit of that process.
I know that would be, fun, but no, definitely not being dispersed to anyone but the borrower and the homeowner.
Okay, that's good. That's good for you to, so clients know, right? It's important because they sometimes assume it's a question that comes up. Who's keeping that money? They may think that because, we know AD lending, right? So automatically funds are going to go directly to us.
No.
Why? It doesn't work that way, right? Just for everybody
Definitely
here.
not.
Definitely not. Okay.
Unless you're signing that note with the the borrower, that you definitely are not receiving any of the funds.
There
Only
you go.
the
Okay. There you go. Unless we are, tenants in common, right? Joint tenants.
Right. Yeah.
Got it. Okay, good. That's good for everybody out there, right? Funds go directly to you guys. You guys choose who you want to work with, whether it be NGB, NGI, whoever it is, right? You're working with whoever you need to be, and you can disperse those funds accordingly. Okay, cool. Awesome. So here's one of our last questions, and this question is coming from Brenda in Palo Altos. Okay, so I guess there was some more questions and she is a homeowner. She's been thinking about doing an ADU. This question came to us through one of our Instagram lives. Okay, and so with the new FHA change in policy, what we feel that it's a game changer for sure. But they're asking, what are your thoughts as a lender? What do you think about this FHA? Accepting, ADUs even for first-time home buyers now, and the refinance,
So FHA is now allowing you to use the rental income to qualify for the loan, using the rental income from the ADUs to qualify for the loan. So definitely, it's a big game changer. But I mean, that's never stopped us before. So even conventional, we can do the same too. So whatever route we go on, we'll use the rental income regardless.
Perfect. I like that. And so I want to add on this because I want to make sure that, we're working with more investors. We're actually, since rates have been higher, we're encouraging to find more investors that have a little more liquidity and cash, right? We're still working with homeowners that want to do more of 100%, 80% financing, but also encouraging investors that are now getting more comfortable with the ADU plays and how that can really add value. So I just want to touch on that a little bit. I think now with ADUs, I think one of the main changes for us is that there hasn't been like a clear way to value ADUs in the market necessarily, like when you're flipping the ADU, right? When you're selling it to another homeowner. And so you can sit in it, you can rent it out. That's been a lot more straightforward, but itemizing the value, it seems that it's been kind of all over the place, right? I hope to see that FHA is going to have some way that they roll out more concrete, more stable in how they're giving that price per square foot. And so I want to encourage, right, you and I can definitely help investors. We help them build it. You're running the numbers, the value of those units, and they can add this to their portfolio, decide to either flip it, hold it, but be able to evaluate it if that's the right value.
I mean, I agree. I think ADUs they did roll out a new law, right, in California. So starting next year, ADUs will be allowed to be sold separately and they will be treated as condominiums. So I think the value of ADUs is going to increase as well. And I think that would be great for investors because they would feel more comfortable. It's awesome. Honestly, I think it's a big blessing. I mean, they're doing it in a couple other states. So I'm so glad that they brought it here.
Right. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, no, I think we need as many ways to be creative with single family lots. So I really want to now start working with more investors. So we're going to use this to educate people, right, that you have a lot of the financing. We can build it. We got to take advantage while it's still not a mainstream product or type of investment. So once you have built enough units, and then they start to roll out this value, you can kind of be at the front line there of some of the first sales that are happening. So yeah, that makes perfect sense. Anna, look, I always like to end my conversations a little funny, right? I don't think Brenda probably shared this with you, but just curious, what is your favorite cuisine if you had to choose one locally here in LA for you?
I'm gonna say sushi. So Asian,
Sushi.
definitely sushi. Yeah.
Okay, Asian sushi. Okay. Well, is there a specific spot that you like?
Yeah, but I don't want to give it away.
Ooh, right. She's like, I don't want any stalkers going after me. She's like, I don't want, no way, Jose.
It's here in Glendale. It's called Seaweed, and it's awesome.
Glendale Seaweed. There you guys go. Anna, so that's her favorite spot. So you guys, you like sushi, take a look at it. Anna, this was really insightful. Thank you so much. We appreciate you guys, all the work that you do. Obviously, you guys know what you guys are doing, so we look forward to continuing our business together. And so for anybody else that wants to get in touch with you, work with you in the ADU community space or just in general, what's the best way to get in contact with you?
You can contact us through phone, text, DM on Instagram, send us an email, whatever you prefer, but whatever method you prefer.
Okay, guys, so I'm going to have Mike kind of put the contact info somewhere around here so you guys can reach out. Instagram, social media, telephone, email, whichever way you guys prefer. Send her your scenarios. Until next time, Anna, I appreciate you. Have a great evening.
We also have a link in our bio on our Instagram to schedule a consultation. So if anyone wants to do that as well, we do offer that option too.
Much easier, much smoother. So guys, you guys have a link. Go ahead and book through there. But only if you have a serious scenario, okay, guys? All right, cool. Anna, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
My pleasure.
And tell Diana we all say hello, and we'll come by. Maybe not for sushi, but definitely for Rafi's, because I am missing Rafi's very much.
Definitely.
You just can't find the Middle Eastern food out here in Bogota, in Colombia. Not yet, anyways. Yeah.